Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's RL Knuckles, aka the Entertainment Fiend, here to give you my first ever video review of a movie. And here's my friend Jesse.
Hello.
And hopefully, in the future, we want to do more reviews, mainly more on like comics, video games. This review is going to mainly be about the Birds of Prey. We saw it last week, and hopefully, maybe in the future soon we might do one on Sonic because that's actually coming out tomorrow on Valentine's Day. So that should be really. I'm not sure to be like super great, but Jim Carrey in that trailer was just hilarious. So I think it's gonna be good. It's not gonna be it could be a box office match because you know how many Sonic fans there are, but I don't want to dwell into that because we're already talking about Birds of Prey. And to start with Birds of Prey, we're gonna talk about the good, the bad, how he felt. It was planned out and everything. And I'll be honest, I'll start with the trailer of this movie. It didn't really. I was granted, despite the trailers not being the best, I was still pretty excited for this movie because I love Birds of Prey. Like, and I told you about this, I love female superheroes. They're actually. Sometimes I kind of like them over the men for some odd reason, but I just feel as though female superheroes don't get enough credit. And, with this being the first ever female superhero group, how can I not be excited for it? But the trailer was just like. Both trailers, I'm like, ugh. Like, the trailers were kind of bad that, honestly, I can't remember what the plot was. Did you? I know you didn't enjoy the trailer. I sent it to you, you're like, ugh.
The trailers kind of killed all the hype for me.
Really?
Yeah, I was when the Birds of Prey was first announced. I was excited for it.
I think everybody was.
My wife loves the Birds of Prey. Huntress is, I'd probably say one of her top 3 superheroes.
Of DC world or just all time?
All together.
Okay.
I actually bought her for, I think, our anniversary, the first appearance of Huntress.
Okay.
The original and the new one.
Okay.
So from I don't remember the exact issue, but yeah. So like she was really excited for it when I first told her about it. After she saw the trailer and the promotional images, she said, "No, I'm done." She didn't want to see it.
She didn't even see the movie.
No,
I
asked her. I said, "Do you want to come see this with us?" And she said, "Nah."
Wow.
She just
which
bad. is kind of disappointing.
It is
you could say the target audience was females. I mean, it's a female superhero team.
Yeah.
And my wife is the target audience. She was someone who loves the Huntress, who loves superheroes. We met because she asked me about a Batman comic, and she had no interest in seeing this movie.
Which, by the way, everybody, Jesse is a huge DC guy. Like, don't talk about Marvel around him too much, because you might get into an argument with him. Maybe a healthy argument, but he is a DC guy. He actually got me into reading like the Birds of Prey comic. Like here's the thing: I knew Huntress, I knew Black Canary first from the TV show. And then playing Black Canary and Justice 2 and watching them on like Justice League, Batman, the Brave and the Bold. So I've grew to like these characters, and shout out to you for giving me that comic book to read because it was very good. I read, which version was that?
So it was Birds of Prey from Rebirth that you had read, and then I gave you Detective Comics from Rebirth. It was James Tynion the Fourth's run. I want to say I gave you like 30 issues or something of it. For those of you who are looking for more content to read of Birds of Prey or The Bat Family as a whole, they're both very good.
Yeah, and you told me the Huntress Cry for Blood, was it?
Yeah,
that one was really good.
That book is what made Huntress be my wife's favorite superhero. Was that one?
Yeah. So for me, Margot Robbie produced this movie, and I think we're gonna get right to the bad right now. At first, what he said was the bad thing was like how there was nothing leading up to this film. Because you look at Suicide Squad, which I thought was but I think you might have agreed with me that Deadshot and Harley Quinn were the standout stars from that film.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I think that's possibly why we got a Birds of Prey movie. But yeah, it would have been nice to see like what led up to that because we only see. Grant, we're going to be talking a little bit spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie or don't plan on seeing it, feel free to listen to what we got to say.
Maybe we should save the spoilers for the end.
We'll
give you guys a warning. Hey, spoiler territory, so you cut out towards the end.
Okay, yeah, so Joker breaks out Harley out of jail
at the end of Suicide
Squad. And I guess
it looks like this awesome, redemption moment. He's not dead, and he comes and saves her. Yeah. And then we get Birds of Prey picking up, and they broke up. And
they broke up. Yeah.
While RL said I hate Marvel and huge DC fanboy, I can respect what Marvel has built with their cinematic universe. That is 10 years that they've been going on, all leading up to Endgame. And they set up the next movie every time. So I believe it was the end of Captain America. They find Thor's hammer, and they had that set up for the next movie. There was no setup for this. It felt like they didn't go into Suicide Squad with a game plan on what would happen next. They made Suicide Squad, realized, hey, everybody liked Harley, so let's make a movie about Harley. Yeah. But kind of ignored where the last movie left off.
Well, I think DC probably should have stopped doing the whole universe thing because it just wasn't working out. Like after Justice League, it's like, yeah, this is not working out. So what I like about Shazam was that it didn't really connect. I guess towards the end when Superman came in or whatever, but there really anything connected to like what was going on. Like Aquaman connected, but the only thing with Shazam was like. We kind of saw the symbols of Aquaman, Batman. So like, the Justice League existed, but they weren't really like extremely talked about. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's just because I've read too many comics, but I've kind of learned to enjoy those kind of stories more. From working at a comic store, I'm just so sick of all the crossover events. It seems like DC and Marvel do 2 or 3 a year. That I would be really getting into a Nightwing story arc, and then they'd be like, all right, it's crossover time, and it would just do this completely out of left field story arc that had nothing to do with it, and it just broke the flow and really kind of killed the momentum of a lot of the books. And
so you're just thinking they should just be focused on Nightwing and that's it, not have another...
Yeah, and I think where DC could kind of compete with Marvel is to not try to make that cinematic universe. Yeah, it might be a little risky, but if you look at the success of Joker and how it was so disconnected from every other movie DC has made, but it was good because of that. And that's just my personal preference. I think if they were to kind of go with each superhero is its own genre, where Batman is that gritty crime novel, Superman's more of that hopeful, upbeat movie, kind of like how Shazam was kind of the funny movie.
Yeah, because DC's mainly known for its dark stuff. Granted, there were some dark moments in Shazam too with the villain, but it was more of a comedy, like, hey, you can enjoy the movie and laugh at the same time. It's not too serious.
Yeah,
So basically, your one issue was how it did nothing lead to it. So my bad thing about it was the first time. Well, anyway, for those who don't know, basically the story is about how, like I said, you already said before, Harley and Joker break up. And now what I respect, which I probably should have put in this good thing, was Margot Robbie. I thought she did a great job because she's dealing with a breakup. As anybody person with a breakup, she's felt more human in this movie, like more relatable. Not to say that she is human, but like in Suicide Squad, she's like the sadistic, crazy chick. In this one, she was kind of like more relatable to a lot of people, and I respect it. I feel so when you have like. So we're looking for like a connection with a hero on screen. You're like, okay, relatable stuff. I think that's what's going to have a connection with your audience. And she's been with Mr. J for like up and down. You see her, just vulnerable, like she's not invincible. And so she breaks up with him, but she doesn't tell anybody because when she was with him, she got to do whatever she want and no one would cross her because I had to answer to Joker. So it was kind of for her own safety for her not to tell anybody until she was drunk, and she comes up with great ideas when she's drunk. And as you saw in like trailers, commercial breaks, like she drives a truck into the chemical plants where she became Harley Quinn. And when she did that, it became open season on Harley Quinn. Everybody wanted to get her. The biggest person I wanted to get her was the Black Mask, which I think we'll get into that a little bit later. So one of my issues with the film was, first of all, the title. The title is just way too long. I don't feel like
it's not catchy.
It's not
Harley or Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley. Just call it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
I thought it should have been Harley Quinn and Friends. Because first of all, the Birds of Prey thing. Let me tell you that right now, they're not officially formed until the end. So I don't know. The Birds of Prey tie should have been there. Either Harley Quinn and Friends or Harley Quinn on her side, just because literally the other cast, they were barely in the movie. Like I would say, Renee was like decent amount of time. Black Canary, somewhat decent amount of time. Cassandra Cain, she was in it for probably like the second most. I think her and Renee had like the same amount. Huntress,
she was in there for like 5 minutes.
She was there for like a couple flashbacks and there towards the end. And people don't know is Birds of Prey is originally made up of, first it was Batgirl and Black Canary, and then later on in the issues it was Huntress. So I'm not mad at the fact that, well, it was weird to not see Batgirl in it, but the fact that you barely have Huntress in the movie, and when it's called, we have Birds of Prey in the title, it's like, as a Huntress fan, I'm disappointed. Because she deserved way more screen time. And I get it. First of all, it's a Harley Quinn movie, as we said before, but like the fact that you don't have Huntress in it for like, honestly, I can say she's in the movie for like a total of 20 minutes.
Oh, that might be very gracious. I don't even think it was anywhere near that.
Really?
Yeah, but it didn't feel like she was a focus. It felt more like she was a side plot.
Yeah.
And that she just kind of showed up. And
yeah.
like, oh, hey, here's another person to join. She's here because she's a member of the Birds of Prey in the comics, and not really actually any purpose in the movie. Like they honestly could have just removed her character, and it would have been the exact same film. Nothing would have changed in terms of plot.
So it wouldn't. Which also gives me another bad thing is there's a lot of backtracking in the movie. Like, granted, Harley Quinn was basically telling the story, but like when she got to this part, she rewind about to this part, and I'm like, okay, I kind of understand it, but like some of it was kind of pointless and kind of time consuming. Which to me, the backtrack could have been more screen time for Huntress and the other women in there. So yeah, I thought it was annoying. What was your other bad things? Because I think we're kind of like on the roll right here with the.
Yeah, I think the. I'm trying to remember what we had written down. Cassandra.
Cassandra. No, let's get Cassandra straight away. What was in your phone though? Well, like you say you had on your phone, but do we have like the same thing on it?
I think we had, but...
Do you want to talk about the Black Mask first or Cassandra Cain first?
I guess we can talk about Black Mask, because Cassandra's a whole...
I mean, you get into a bigger rant than I am, but for the villain...
I don't know too much about Black Mask in the comics. I mostly read maybe early to mid-90s stuff. That was the comics that my uncle gave me when I got started. And then it was mostly New 52 stuff after that, and up to current, but... I was trying to think... When I watched this movie, I just kept thinking, Kill Bill did it so much better. And even with the villain, they were trying to show an abusive, toxic male in Ewan McGregor playing Black Mask.
That was his name?
Yeah. And it came off just very not really done well. And I would compare what they were trying to do with him to, again, as I said, Kill Bill, particularly maybe Oren Ishii's backstory with, in the movie, how her parents were killed in front of her, and her having to kill, I think it's Boss Matsumoto.
I forgot their names.
But anyway, the person who had killed her parents, I felt like just that short few minute scene of explaining Oren's backstory was just so much more emotionally gripping than anything that they had done in this movie.
Oh, yeah, well, so you're around like relating to Huntress in a way, how her family.
Yeah, but just in general, when they were trying to develop Black Mask as a villain, and again, I don't want to go too much into spoiler territory, but it just felt very surface and not emotionally gripping.
For me, he was kind of funny. I think when I knew Black Mask, I actually was. Believe it or not, was when I watched the Red Hood film. And I thought, well, by the way, watch that film. It's very, very good. Anime. But we can definitely agree that DC does great animated movies. That you can't touch him on that. But I thought he was cool. And I think for the first time, as far as I can remember, he's might have been the first a little bit of a comic relief DC villain. Every DC villain I know is kind of serious. he was serious in some type of way, but he was kind of funny. Say, oh, everyone having a good time, stuff like that. But then he got pretty extreme with the you know what scene when he had you know who on the table. Yeah. And I'm like, it kind of got a little bit awkward right there because when I looked at a lot of reviews of Beyond the Trail with Grace, Jeremiah James. Do you watch him? Jeremiah, I forget his last name. He's a very good YouTube reviewer on not YouTube reviewer, movie reviewer on YouTube. I suggest you watch him. But he got pretty extreme at the point. I'm like, oh, okay.
With them pushing the R rating, I think they could have done more with his character. I'm not saying I don't think nudity was the option, but like again, comparing it to Kill Bill, where Oren was under the bed when her mother got stabbed and the blood went through the mattress.
And it was animated too when they did that.
Yeah, they could have just done it so much more emotionally gripping than how they did in that scene. It felt like they weren't being very creative or artistic with its delivery. It was just, here's a man being abusive and toxic and...
just power and all that type of stuff. Yeah. Like, he wasn't anything special. Like, I thought he was funny, but I forgot what I was going to say, but... like, he got too extreme, and his boyfriend was kind of annoying too. Like
Victor Zsasz.
But yeah,
my other issue with that was, this is the same thing. My issue with Victor Zsasz in Gotham was that it's not how DC Press portrayed him. Victor Zsasz has always been the knife guy. He's always been bald. He's always been only using a knife, not using guns. So that's a minor complaint. Victor Zsasz isn't a big villain in the comics. He's just kind of there, but. This is just me personally. I felt the same way with Avengers and with Loki, is that I don't want my villain to be the person I laugh at. Like I want to feel threatened by the villain. And they kind of just made him goofy, I guess, and it kind of took away from the threatening scenes that they had him in. Well, if you look at again, to go back to Kill Bill, when Beatrice is killing Buck, who likes to, we'll say, party, when she's smashing his head in with the door, like that was such a more powerful scene than what Birds of Prey had done. Yeah. And I think it was missing the creative aspect of cinematography.
Well, let's not get twisted. Birds of Prey, touch of Kill Bill. Kill Bill is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's touching that. But to your R rating, I want to get to that later because that brings up a good point. But okay, so now we're gonna talk about the person who you loved the most in this movie. Who I loved the most too was Cassandra Cain. And let me tell you, people that I talked to, the friends that I saw it with, and the one guy that I work with, he watches some of the movies. They didn't know that Cassandra Cain was a different character when I told them. I'm like, we saw a different person. And all you...
she's a very obscure character that most people don't know about, but...
She should get... well, this movie would get her more recognition in a bad way. But for you that don't know, Cassandra Cain is a character from Batman. Well, actually, you explain it. You're the Batman guy.
Yeah, so she was the second Batgirl before DC rebooted. They kind of...
oh, she was before Spoiler?
Yeah. Okay. They kind of changed her backstory a little bit when DC rebooted in the New 52, but I guess the general themes have kind of been a constant where she was trained as an assassin from birth. Her father, David Cain, never taught her how to speak. And instead of speaking, her language that she understood was body language. So this kind of enabled her to read her opponent's every move, every twitch in their muscles, and allow her to kill as easily as, you and I would be able to talk to each other.
Yeah.
But it added a very interesting take, I think, to a superhero who can't speak.
One that I read that you gave me the Batman the Brave, she only said she says a few words.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything in complete sense. Just like safe, no.
When they rebooted and after the New 52, they brought her back in Rebirth. She could speak a little bit, not a whole lot, but
she was a
yeah. Batman says to Batwoman in Detective Comics, he says, I'm paraphrasing here, but the reason why he has her on the team is because he legitimately is afraid of her, she could kill him if she felt like it, and
she could.
She's on his team because if he was to let her go and roam free,
well, with Gabriel Knight with Shiva or whatever, she can be one of the deadliest assassins out there.
Yeah,
and she could when she beats people, she didn't kill them in the comic.
She might have killed some.
She might have killed the ninjas, but like I'd be afraid of her. Like she beat the crowd way worse than what Batman would do to them.
And that's kind of her internal struggle is like she has all that capabilities and her brain is by default going to rip their throat out, but she's trying to hold back. With Batman,
and she's very powerful, but she just holds. But granted, she's still a very powerful person. But if she were to go all out, it'd be very scary. But we get none of that in Birds of Prey movie. We get none of that. We just get a pickpocketer. And here's the thing: I feel bad for the actress that's playing her because I feel as though the people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're that girl. You're the girl that killed Cassandra Cain." But then at the same time, people might cosplay as her. Because despite this movie not doing well, I still see people cosplaying as these characters. Which honestly, that Sunday I saw a girl. And when I was at the Zolicon, cosplay as Huntress, in the sweats. It was pretty dope. She did a good job with that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Cassandra Cain was not who you think she is. My one friend didn't even like her. I didn't like her. And it just
she was portrayed as some random pickpocket on the streets.
Yep.
Who
steals from
who just
stole from Black Mask.
Yeah, who just kind of becomes Harley Quinn's fan.
Yeah,
and it was not anything like the comics. And no. I mean, I love her character in the comics, and it just makes me so sad that this is what I got when I was expecting, this awesome character who we could say is a strong female. Yeah. Batman's afraid of her. So.
But here's the thing, though. I'm when I see a comic book movie, I'm not expecting it to be the same exact thing for my comic, but there's just core things you don't want to ruin. That's like me saying Wolverine isn't aggressive when he fights somebody, or Peter Parker not being smart. He's a complete idiot.
But even just completely her in the movie being able to speak fluently, I see that as the equivalent of having Daredevil who's not blind. That's core to her character.
Well, here's the thing. Even if she did speak, that really didn't bother me as much as the fact that her personality could be that if she was still a BA and still being able to speak, that would have been fine. Maybe not speak wildly, but speak kind of quietly, like a low tone type of voice.
But or selective mute,
Yeah. But with that, it's just she couldn't really do anything. She was just, she was just bonding with Harley. That was just it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like that. Now, I did have one more bad thing about the movie, but that's going to be towards the end of the run. That's the reason why it did not make so much money. So, we'll get to the good. Margot Robbie, I think she did a fantastic job. I thought also she did a better job in this movie than she did in Suicide Squad. She kind of made me forget about Suicide Squad in a way, about how her performance was. Like I said, she was a great Harley Quinn. I still like to see Kristen Bell, but granted, I guess she's a little bit old now. The blonde hair Kristen, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, I think I'm saying the right one. Not Kristen Stewart, Kristen Bell. I hope I'm saying the right one, but anyways, yeah, Margot Robbie. She's a great Harley Quinn. I can't say anything about her. Like I said, she made her character more relatable, going through depression and whatnot. So she's basically gonna be the Harley Quinn. But I'm not gonna say future because we gotta get into that. So I like Margot Robbie. I like the action. I thought the action was really good.
Yeah.
Especially the police raid.
It was legitimately good, and I thought was the best part about the movie.
Yes.
The scene, particularly when they go to Carnival Row, and they're in the fun house. Which I think is in some of the trailers. But that whole action scene... I'm sure you could pick it apart and say, "Oh, this kick wasn't delivered well."
Yeah,
but as a whole, I thought the action was very enjoyable. Again, I don't want to go into too much spoilers, but there's a scene when Harley's kind of running around with, I guess a paint gun.
That was the police which I'm going to get to. Yeah, that was really good. And there was grenade launch and the color.
Yeah,
that was definitely her color. She's smiling in the back, smiling with the blue, purplish type of color. That was a dope scene right there. She showed she was kicking everyone's butt in that scene. It was very, very great. Mm-hmm. So the action was good. For me, I like the cast for besides the Cassandra Cain. Like, I like the females that they chose. Like Mary Elizabeth Winston, she was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. She was Ramona. Final Destination 3. Sky High when she played the villain. So like, I have a soft spot for her. But granted, she didn't get enough screen time.
I felt like the way they kind of portrayed Huntress was they kind of just made fun of her. And
yeah, she was a bit of comic relief, a little bit.
I'm sure that actor's good. I've seen her in movies. I think she's good.
I think she's
However, I would have liked someone a little bit more gritty and a little bit more intimidating in terms of personality and appearance to more fit Huntress's role.
Because she's like different in the comics. She was trying to kill. Canary and Bagger saying no, don't kill. But
yeah,
she was killing it in that. But she was like, I don't have rages, but I still liked her because I have a soft spot. Journey Smollett Bell, she played Black Canary, and shout out to her because I think people were getting on and were like, oh, Black Canary's being played by a black girl, and I'm sure everyone's getting into that, but she was good. Yeah. I've seen her in The Debaters, great movie. Roll Bounce, not the best movie, but it was an okay movie. And the only thing I did not like about it was that scream. That Canary scream was bad.
Yeah, the Canary scream in the animated shows has this, certain iconic kind of sound to it, and if they would have just used the exact same sound bite, I would have been perfectly fine.
Even the video game, it just sounds better than that one.
I think that's the same sound.
That's the only bad thing.
Yeah.
And I like Rosie Perez. She played Renee Monet because I get why you don't like us due to the size, which I can agree with that, but Rosie Perez she's been around for a long time. She was in A Love of Color. She was one of the lead dancers. She was one of the, I forgot what kind of dancers they called them, but she was in Do the Right Thing, White Man Can't Jump, in a lot of classical movies. So I have a soft spot for her, and she did beat a lot of young girls to get that role.
She came off to me almost a little out of place. There's a scene where she's chasing Harley through stores.
She looked like she was running slow.
Yeah, when it would cut to her running, and then it would cut to Harley Quinn running, like Margot Robbie really sold the intensity of the chase scene, but it just seemed like Renee's the character just didn't seem like she really knew how to do an action scene, and that kind of just came off to me almost out of place. She's a petite woman, so even when she would throw punches and all, it just, to me, it didn't really sell that she could actually do that. I mean, if you look at Disney Plus's Mandalorian, the woman they have playing the Drop Trooper, I don't remember the character's name, but I know she's the actress is an MMA fighter. Yeah. Like, she could sell some action scenes. Someone, I would have liked to seen her, maybe not play Renee, but someone that looks like they could throw someone across the room kind of thing in order to more convince me of the action.
Now, with the cast, though, I do like how it's diverse in a way. Because Margot Robbie did pick these girls out, and I respect her for doing that. And that was a dope thing. And the soundtrack was good. Every music that was playing in the Police Rain, also in the Funhouse, that was good. So was that... I'm sorry.
I guess my opinions on the soundtrack, I'm really not a fan of movies using, songs that we listen to on the radio. To me, it just kind of breaks immersion. I would rather have an orchestral piece, like Hans Zimmerman, I'm a huge fan of. I feel like that brings immersion better to me. That being said, I actually did really enjoy the songs that they had picked for this movie. A lot more. I thought Suicide Squad music choice was bad. Right. It just felt like some random guy was hit play on his phone, on his music library. But the music was done very well. I've been hearing a lot of other people say that they like the music too.
So was that basically all your positive things, pretty much what I had, or did I miss something from your list?
Yeah, I think that was kind of the main positives that I kind of had thought about.
Okay. Yeah. So now I think we get to the last thing about this movie was that over the weekend it made $30.2 million, making it the lowest DC movie ever. And here's why I think I have two reasons. One, excuse me. the rated R. I don't think it should be rated R because we look at the movie, nothing seemed to be rated R, and not only that, you have a lot of these young girls that like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And if you want to see a PG-13 movie, they can see that. I mean, yeah, not every scene's going to be for kids, but like when I go to New York Comic Con, I see a bunch of these young girls dressed as Harley Quinn. Remember, they saw they saw Harley Quinn first through the Batman show in the 90s.
Yeah.
But now...
the younger generation mostly knows her from the DC Superhero Girls animated show.
Exactly. And the fact that now they're trying to make her her be like DC's Deadpool. Which I don't think that's working out for her right now.
Personally, I feel like the fandom, the long-time fans of Harley, preferred her as Joker's groupie. And not necessarily DC's version of Deadpool.
And as a good person, too.
I mean, I hate Deadpool, but... So that kind of kills it for me. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
I didn't think that the humor was that good in this movie. There was a few funny scenes, but to me it came off more as an action movie than it did a comedy, which is...
You kind of would expect more comedy coming from Harley Quinn.
Yeah, going off of the comics, by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner, they kind of take more of the comedic route. And I didn't really see that was present in this movie.
Mm-hmm. But I think the biggest reason why might not just the horror film, but I feel as though... I know this not... Like, this is just me. I think in this movie it kind of portrayed it like all men are like the bad guys and women are like good. Here's the thing. I agree that in this country, women don't get the same treatment as men. I don't get all into that. So when they get treated unfairly at times. But with this movie, it's like, I'm all for women's rights, but I don't feel as though when you're trying to like make a race or a gender better, you don't have to put the other like race or gender down. Like there's really like no no good guy. Like I said, the black man. Excuse me.
The only man that was portrayed positively was the guy who owned the diner, who made her an egg sandwich or something. Yeah, that's the
only good one. I was getting ready to say that was the only good one.
I mean, honestly, if we would have had the roles flipped, if it was all a male cast with only females being portrayed as bad, everyone would be crying sexism.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm thinking. I don't think that Margot and director Kathy Ann, I don't think they truly believe that all men are bad, but like I said, you didn't put them in a good like it would have been nice to have like maybe one good guy, just one. Like Black Mask, he's the villain, rightfully so. But the police guys were jerks. The one guy that she was staying with was a cool guy until, which I don't get into, until that happened. So yeah, it's like.
Yeah, I wish they would have had Jim Gordon in the movie.
That would have been dope.
His presence in the GCPD, I think, is very important, especially to Renee's character.
Yes.
That, Jim Gordon's the main police officer, and then his kind of sidekicks, kind of how Batman has Robin, would be Renee Montoya and Harvey Bullock are like the two main ones.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like making a movie about Robin with no Batman.
Yeah, honestly, it would have been, because honestly, you probably would have, maybe you would have might seen a better Renee Monet, for your opinion, if Gordon was there.
I'm not saying he needed to have a big role or needed to outshine her, but just maybe some other presence in which she could relay her frustrations at her superiors and their sexism that they were acting towards her. I would have liked.
Yeah. And that's pretty much about it. Like, we didn't get too much into spoilers, which I think was kind of good, because we just explained the movie very well without having to like spoil a couple of things. But I will say this though, I don't see a part 2 with $30.2 million. DC's lowest film. I just don't see it. I mean, maybe this coming weekend, it might do better, maybe, but I just don't see. I would like to see a legit Birds of Prey movie. I like to see another Harley Quinn movie, but like money talks, and from what I heard, Margot Robbie is not a very good ticket salesperson. Especially the fact that when she produced it, like from what I've heard from Grace, she was saying that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was either you make Birds of Prey or you do Gotham City Sirens. What would make more money, Sirens or Birds of Prey?
Siren, I think, would have made more money. Everybody knows who Catwoman is, and most people know who Poison Ivy are. They are more popular in the comics and more iconic than, admittedly, Cassandra Cain, even though she's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And even Huntress, not many people really know who she is. People know who Black Canary is, but I
think our generation would know. If they saw Justice League, they would know, but this younger generation, they wouldn't know.
For an R-rated superhero film, it would have fit Gotham City Sirens much better.
Yes, most definitely, yeah. But I just don't see, because money talks, and if money doesn't work out in this film, then I just don't see how this movie will get a part to. Unless I would like it to, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, granted, you have Sonic. Sonic might beat them.
I hope so.
Sonic might beat them. So yeah. So there you have it. There's our review. Now, if you had to give it a rating, I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Normally, when it comes to movies, it's like 5 stars. I'm gonna say like 2.5.
Yeah, I would say that personally. I would say that's a fair review. I think I'd agree. We didn't talk too much about the plot, but to me, it just kind of came off boring. I think if I saw the movie again, I might fall asleep. It just felt like it had been done.
Buy Blu-ray just to get support.
It didn't. The plot didn't feel like it did anything new that no other movie had done better. The hunt for the diamond just felt not big enough. If it was a comic book, the plot revolving around a diamond would be fine.
Yeah.
But I would have liked a bigger stakes for a movie. But yeah, I think a 2.5 out of 5 is fair.
Yeah.
If
not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. It's neither.
All right, you had mentioned you had seen it with some other females that you said that they enjoyed it more than you did.
They probably enjoyed. I think they enjoyed it more than I did. Because, like I said, I was trying to watch for there's a lot of things that bother me. I said Cassandra Cain, screen time, how guys were portrayed in the film. So yeah, just one of those things. I mean, I think a lot of women will like this. I'm glad women are going out there support it. But I do think this is a good year for women superheroes because we have this movie, we have Black Widow coming out, we have Wonder Woman coming out. So like I said, it's a big year. But like I said, for this movie though, don't see a part 2 happening. I'll see. Well, that's our review for Birds of Prey. Hopefully you guys like this video. Just give us thumbs up or comment below. Like this is the first of many nerdy reviews that we'll be doing. So hopefully we'll be doing a Sonic one together. And so the guys, we'll also be doing video game videos too, like co-op games. Because me and him, growing up, we've been doing co-op video games for like the longest time. So we'll finally get a chance to do that pretty soon. With we have some games in mind, but we don't want to give out a list just yet. But hopefully you'll enjoy watching those too. So
you'll enjoy watching me sabotage RL in co-op.
How are you gonna sabotage? First of all, pause. We're on the same team, so I don't know how to understand. If you're gonna sabotage me, unless you're gonna screw me over, which you probably will do, but F you anyway. Hope you guys have a good day. You guys take care.